In the last video, everything was done by using an Android phone. So in this one, we will cover the demonstrations for iPhone. You can see that the Iriun Webcam app is a little bit more minimal compared to the Android version, but still gets the job done. I still like it compared to Droidcam, where all the best options require you to buy it, or IVCam, where the video quality becomes pretty bad after the trial period is over. The general options are pretty much the same. You can still choose between front and rear camera. You can apply some light. The writing also looks as clear as it did in the Android version. You can change the video format if you want from the PC. The only thing that I cannot find is the ability to flip horizontally and the ability to choose between portrait and landscape orientation. But they are not absolutely necessary, so it's still all right. Do note that if you try to use this with Microsoft Teams instead, in that case, you'll have to change the camera just like before, and it will look flipped. But there's nothing to worry about because it just looks flipped to you because you are the one using it as a webcam. Your audience can actually see it properly. One last note that unlike Android, you cannot use your own webcam through USB. If none of the apps suggested so far work for you, you can also try screen mirroring while you have the camera on. So for screen mirroring using Wi-Fi, we are going to use Easycast. I have Easycast desktop application open on the left and a video of my iPhone on the right. To establish a connection, we are going to open up the QR code from the desktop client and tap Broadcast Screen on the iPhone. I used this program recently, so it still remembers about my desktop, but most of the time that will not be the case, and you'll have to tap here and scan this QR code on your desktop screen. So I'm taking my phone and scanning the QR code. Now we are ready to start broadcasting. All we'll have to do, we'll have to just tap the Start Broadcast button at the bottom. After a 3-second delay, your desktop will launch into a full screen preview of what's happening on your iPhone. We're in portrait mode right now, so that's how it looks. But if we move our iPhone and switch to landscape, it will change the view as well. You cannot resize the size of this mirroring. If you want, you can press Alt Tab and move to another window, but you cannot make it like a smaller window. Now we can change to any note-taking app, for example, OneNote, and start writing there. You'll notice that it will look slightly big. That is because I'm right now writing by using my finger. But if you have a stylus, it will look even better. Also, if you're using OneNote, your page size is infinite anyway, so you can just zoom out. To stop the broadcast, just go back to your Easycast app and tap Stop Broadcast. If you want to record yourself writing on paper, all you have to do is start a new broadcast and go to your camera app. It looks pretty nice, and if you want it to look nicer, you can go into Easycast settings and choose an even better video quality. However, there's one thing you cannot do, that is you cannot apply flash or you cannot flip horizontally or something like that. But other than that, as long as you're working in a bright environment, this can be a pretty nice replacement to apps like Droidcam or Iriun Webcam. However, Easycast, which is an iPhone-only app, it works over Wi-Fi and not USB connection. So if your Wi-Fi has problems, in that case, your options are limited. I could only find Apowermirror that let me screen share over wired connection. So in order to do this, you'll have to open up Apowermirror and choose USB connection. It sometimes takes more than one time. You can see that right now I'm attempting and failing, but this time when I pick USB connection, plug in my phone, this time I succeeded. The first time you're setting things up, there would be some pop-ups in your phone and it will ask you for some permissions. As long as you give that permission, you will be able to see your phone screen just like this. Note that there's this watermark in the middle. It's more clear when you have a dark background. You can also make the screen bigger if you go to the landscape orientation. With the increase in screen size, the size of the watermark will also increase. Just like before, you can use Apowermirror screen mirroring as a replacement to DroidCam or similar software. However, because of the watermark, some parts of what you're writing might get covered by it. So it's up to you if it's enough of a problem that you cannot consider this as a possible solution. It's more evident when you're in landscape mode. If you want to get the full version to avoid this problem, remember that the full version is the one application for the PC. So there's no use if you try to buy it from the App Store. You'll have to get the full version of the PC software. Now that we have talked about how we can use screen mirroring for paper writing in iPhone, let's go back and talk a little bit how we can do it for Android. So for Android, we have already seen how we can mirror the Android screen using scrcpy and show any type of app. Just like iPhone, we can open up the camera here as well and use it as a replacement for applications like DroidCam or Iriun Webcam. Let's change the position to landscape. Compared to iPhone, the advantage we have here is that we can use both USB and Wi-Fi mirroring without any watermarks. In case of iPhone, we had some watermarks when we wanted USB mirroring. By the way, using scrcpy with wireless connection is slightly more complicated. You have to change certain part of the code in strcpy.bat and replace it according to this instructions. So you'll have to read the scrcpy guidelines doc I have uploaded. If you don't want to go through all that hassle, it's also possible that if you're using an Samsung phone or an HTC phone, these actually have some sort of screen mirroring option. Like here you can see with my Note 3, it's called screen mirroring. So if I just use that option, I can connect with my computer running Windows 10. There should be a pop-up in your computer asking you whether you want to allow it to connect. Make sure you click it and the screen mirroring will start. Just like Easycast for iPhone, this also shows a full screen preview of what's happening in your Android. Unlike scrcpy where you can change the window size. Whenever you're ready to stop mirroring, you just pull down the menu and click here, End Connection. This is a fairly simple method. However, do note that not all devices work the same way. Like for example, if I open my Samsung S7, there this screen mirroring option is called Smart View instead. So try to figure out what it is for your phone. Of course, just like scrcpy, Easycast, and Apowermirror, you can also use this method to use screen mirroring for paper writing. Otherwise, if you want to use your camera as a webcam and want the options like flipping and flash, you can use DroidCam or Iriun Webcam instead. So there are so many options. Just choose the one that is convenient for you.